I wanted to say a big thank you to our sponsor, Talent Insights. Talent Insights are Australia's leading data specialist recruitment business. They are experts in recruitment strategy and delivery for analytics and data teams. They are the go-to recruitment business for all your data roles in Australia, and they can help both with permanent hires and short-term project-focused data resources. I've used Talent Insights in the past, and I've always found them fantastic to work with. Visit them at talentinsights.com.au.
So, Nonna, maybe I wanted to see maybe if we can jump into data culture, and I wanted to ask you your views on data culture. You mentioned it, and you mentioned it before briefly, but I know that there's a lot of focus from you and a lot of improvements that you've done and throughout your career in the space of the data culture for an organization. Could you tell us about your perspective and how you like to think about it and how you help organizations improve their data culture?
I think in our case, it was at Rmit, it was quite easy. And I explained why. It's because we have quite an amazing leadership. Our Vice Chancellor, Martin Bean, my immediate boss, Chief Financial Officer, Kate Core. Unfortunately, she left last week to join another organization. They were really, really supportive from the outset to create that sort of data-driven decision culture. It started happening even before I come on board, because Martin Bean really wanted his executives to have very clear set of KPIs based on real sort of data and make decisions not based on someone's opinion, because you can imagine it's university. Every single person, every single academic has an opinion, right? And it's really hard to make decisions if you don't have the right facts. And so for us, it was quite easy. We sort of fit in very nicely. But even with Information Governance Council, one of the recommendations was to turn it into real decision-making body, and make sure that people treat data with respect that it deserves. And so we have done that. We, for example, this month we'll release first 2 modules of our data literacy program.
Wow!
For the whole university. One is data at Rmit that talks about how data is structured, how data is managed in generic terms. And I will make sure that every one of the executive team has done that. And it's been really well received as well, because again, we have sponsorship from one of our deputy vice chancellor, Alex Subig, who is managing STEM college. It's amazing how you can come to a very busy executive and ask them to spend a few minutes with us and record a video, introductory video to that data literacy model, and they will say yes, no problem. And so this was the first module that we're going to release very soon, and the other one is data governance at Rmit, because I want to make sure that it's not just the policy document that defines all of the accountability. Everyone at university is trained and understands where to find the supporting materials, what their roles are, and so on and so forth. So it's been an amazing job done by my data governance team.
Incredible! Wow, that is it's very, very impressive, and it's great to see that you've been able to get the support from the highest level of the organization to create and help the data culture move forward.
I actually probably want to talk about something else as well as part of the
Yes.
data culture. This is a educational institution, right? Our key focus is to make sure that our students are ready for life and work. This is RMIT vision, which I completely subscribe to. And so what we really want to do is to make sure that we support our students in every possible way. So anyone who is interested in data can also participate in Data Innovation Hub. It's a new initiative where we will give our students an opportunity to have 12 months real industry experience, where we give them an opportunity to go through boot camp, to learn business skills, and then work as part of my team or any other team within RMIT that do that sort of data and analytics work, get experience, and then for 6 months, they can work as junior consultants for other industries and our other industry partners. So what is that if not changing the culture of the organization? Because we give the students the best opportunities that they might have in life.
That is amazing. So that is the, did you say that's called the Data Innovation Hub?
That's right.
That's incredible. So there's a component of a boot camp. There's a component of working within the within RMIT as data analysts, data scientists, and then
engineer, whatever your career sort of aspiration is.
Wow. And then there's a component of an external role as well. Is that right?
That's right. And it's a win-win for every single party to that module, because industry gets someone who's already been trained and worked in our agile squad delivering data and analytics projects for 6 months, right? So really different. And they've been through boot camp. Students get real experience and real chance to get a job at the end of the 12 months as well. For our staff, it's really good as well. They have a chance to mentor young, smart people, but also because it's really very beneficial for people. But also we have some hands in our own projects as well. So I think it's an amazing theme. We encourage everybody to think about how you can utilize this theme in your organization. So if you think you need students like that, we're happy to hear from you.
I love it. That is fantastic, and definitely it's a model that I hadn't heard of before, and one that I love. I love it. It sounds fantastic. Because you're helping create these new professionals in the space from an education perspective, but now additionally you're giving them experience throughout 12 months. It is outstanding. That is great. And as a related question, how I wanted to ask you about the data science, data analytics, and data engineering knowledge that exists in the organization from the academics and the researchers' perspective. How is your area working with the different parts of the university that have knowledge in these domains?
It's a really good question. So there were a couple of projects where we actually worked with academics hand in hand, and they helped us to develop some of the methodologies and sort of worked with us. It works the other way around as well, because some of our staff, especially people in the learning analytics space, someone is actually writing a book, a chapter in a book about learning analytics that potentially will be one of the sources of knowledge for our students and academics as well. So it's sort of both ways. But we also run think tanks with academics. They understand what needs to be done, what they see some of the issues because they are the key recipient of data, and we need to make sure that they are supported with data to do the best they can in their teaching and research. And so we get our professional teams and academic teams to work together and to brainstorm what are some of the key questions that we can't answer right now that we really need to start thinking about as our strategic analytics projects. And that works very well because you can see all different perspectives. So I think that's really working well.
That's outstanding. That is a great way to leverage all that knowledge and talent within the organization, and bring it together, but make sure that the knowledge is flowing and being applied. Excellent. I wanted to for us to jump into the poll results, and we can talk through the answers. So we've had 96% of people have answered the poll. So thank you very much, everyone, for doing that. And I will share the results now. So they should be popping up on everyone's screen. Let me know if you cannot see it. So question 1 was, do you get interns in your team? And 56% of people said yes, and 44% of people said no. So really, really interesting. What are your thoughts on that response, Nonna?
Look, I can't even explain how beneficial it is to work with students. Only yesterday, we in my team we had a great presentation from 2 students from the Master of Science degree, because we gave them a project to look at how we define our maturity, data analytics maturity. We use DCAM as one of the methodologies, and what are the ways to improve how we get better response to our surveys and stuff like that. It was the project that they could do quickly as part of their course. It's we call it WHEEL students, so it's work integrated learning. They are with us for a number of weeks, and they are performing one of the projects. It's great. We would probably never have time to do this, but they are specialists in this sort of statistical analysis, and they've done a great job. So why wouldn't you use students? Why wouldn't you give them an opportunity? I think that's amazing. And if you want them for longer, 6 months or even longer, that's fine. Come and talk to us, and we will. Universities are very flexible, and we will help you.
That's great. That is great. And I know from my side, at least, in all my roles, I've always had interns come in from university, and found it always very, very beneficial. And a lot of them go on to become grads with us and do a really good job. Sometimes we give them some of the harder problems that we have, and this last summer just gone, we had an intern come in, and straight out of university, and he was doing some deep learning models for us. And I'm working in healthcare at the moment, and the idea was to find procedures, so surgeries or treatments that were similar to one another, based on their description, based on the time where people were having it, and a bunch of other factors. And the interns were able to do that, and they did a really good job. So definitely, sometimes they'll surprise you with their capabilities.
That's right. Yeah.
Really great. Question number 2 was, are there data owners or data trustees in your organization? The winning answer was both with 44%, and then it was neither with 25%. What are your thoughts there, Nonna?
Well, I think the people that answer neither are in some sort of trouble. I think because if you don't have these roles defined, how do you ensure that people understand who is responsible for making decisions about data? Are you making that decisions for them? Are you collecting data before you start using in your data models, and never go back to the way that incorrect data come from? And it's like a never-ending cycle. The data needs to be collected at the point of entry, or at least as early as possible in the process. And if these people don't have these roles, then I'm not sure how you're managing data, really.
True. I agree. It's super important to have these roles to open up information to be used across the organization, and to help the organization change their mindset between having people hog the data within operational systems and it flowing across the organization to deliver value.
Right. And in terms of the data owners and data trustees, look, if data owners work for you, well, that's all well and good. But I think it still has that connotation. It's my data, I can decide if I know you, I'll give it to you. But if I don't know you, well, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You are a data trustee. You manage it on behalf of the company. You need to be able to share it. And it's so important to give our data scientists all the data that they need, and as quickly as possible, so that they don't have to go through multiple approvals with multiple data owners, because it takes so much time and so much effort, where they can actually do what they are good at, which is creating data models.
Yeah.
So I would really advocate for data trustees rather than data owners. But at the end of the day, if it works for you, it's still better than neither.
Very true. Very, very true. Thank you. Question 3 was, does your organization have an explicit and widely known data strategy? And it said, i.e., do you know about it? 69% of people said yes, and 31% of people said no, and that the organization doesn't have an explicit or widely known data strategy. What are your thoughts, Nonna?
Look, I think it's actually a good outcome. 69% of people believe that they have data strategy, which is really good. When I started with this industry, many years ago, I was working in one of the first in Australia chief data officers organizations. At the time, it was unheard of. Who is this person? What their role is? No one thought about data strategy. But nowadays, everything is about data. It doesn't matter what your organization is. Without data, it's not going to be successful. If your computers can be restored, if you lost data that sits within it or stored within it, you don't have anything. You can't really fulfill your objectives. So data is extremely important, and that role of the chief data officer is very important. And I think it's these people that bring the data strategy to life, really. In some instances, it's chief information officer. In some instances, it's chief digital officer. Look, it could be different for different companies, but I think it's extremely important, because if you don't organize your data very well, if you still have an old, business data warehouse that can't handle large volumes of data or unstructured data, you can't do what you need to do. And that's very important.
100%. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for that. That's really, really good. Question 4 was, do you connect with peers and data leaders within and across your organization? So internally within the organization. 88% of people said yes, and 13% of people said no. Really interesting. What are your any thoughts to share there, Nonna?
Yeah, look, the more you use data, the more value you get from it. The more you share data, the more value you get from it. So working across organization with all the data leaders is extremely important. And we, as part of the recent change, we consolidated some of the large data analytics teams within the central area, but we still have the hub and spoke model where we have people outside of the central area doing data and analytics work, and we talk to them all the time. Like, for example, we have learning circles, which is a 1 hour every fortnight where we get together and someone presents a topic of interest.
Right.
We invite not just our team, we invite anybody at university who is interested, because they all are part of our community. We have an analytics leaders forum, and we invite everyone across university, not just our team, because it's within these interactions really that we derive most of the value. We do our project well when we work together.
That's great. That is great. I think it's so important and something that more organizations are focusing on, and definitely there's a lot of organizations that have a while to go yet, but it's so important to connect internally within the organization. That is great. Question 5, which was the last question in the poll, is, do executives in your organization trust the metrics they're presented with? And the winning answer was sometimes, which was 69% of people, and then followed by always, which was on 25% of people, and the remaining 6 said not really. Any thoughts or surprises there?
Well, I definitely want to congratulate anyone in that 25%, because you obviously have done something very good if your executive always trusts the data. So well done, guys.
Yeah.
I think majority are in this sometimes or not really category. It's hard. It's hard work. Every environment is different. Some systems are connected, some systems are not connected. People get extract and manipulate data within their own spreadsheets, and they're very proud of the spreadsheets, and they see it as a state of art. But your spreadsheet might be different from the other spreadsheet, and then when 2 executives get different results, they only trust the data that comes from their own department. So I think, to me, that comes with to 2 things. We've done a great job last year defining more than 130 business terms across university.
Wow.
They're the terms that are, part of most of the KPIs of the executives. And at least if we understand what that means and sort of clarify the boundaries and what's included in that definition and what's excluded, then we don't have to worry about this bit. But now we move to the next stage. Now we move to report certification as well. We define the criteria for report certification, and that could be, good data quality, that where the data come from. You use agreed definitions and so on and so forth. And now that we agreed on it, if your report is not certified, well, you can't be sure that it's based on good quality data, right? And so it's the data trustees that need to approve and that report certification. But again, as I mentioned, they only will do it if most of the data stewards within and outside of their own domain agree that that report is worth certifying. So I think it's a lot of work. It's not easy. It's a lot of work, but it's very satisfying at the end because it saves so much time and so much stress as well. I think it's worthwhile doing, definitely.
Oh, I love the idea of having, certified reports, certified and agreed definitions. It's great. It's great. I love it. The way of the future, Nonna. Trailblazing. That's what you're doing. We had a couple of nice comments and feedback. So we had from Deborah, said, I thought the information presented was excellent, very thorough, fantastic to listen to and learn from. I'm very pleased I attended. Nonna is very knowledgeable in her field and is a person to watch and follows as she sets the pace for everyone else. Really nice comment, Deborah. Thank you. From Tim, he said, I work at a university, so it was great to hear about how a university approaches data, especially the idea of the Data Innovation Hub. I agree. That was great. He continues to say, Felipe, you've been a really engaging host and your enthusiasm has helped the conversation flow. Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. And then he says, the use of the survey has been excellent and integrates seamlessly with the conversation. Great. And then overall, well done. I'm glad I attended too. Thank you very much, Tim. And from Henrique says, very informative session. Great insights from Nonna. Thank you very much. That has been excellent. Excellent. I do, just because we have a couple minutes left, I do want to ask you, Nonna, about some of the really interesting work that you did during COVID-19. Obviously, a really tough time, and for everyone, for the university, definitely. And I know that you're leading the charge with great uses of data analytics during that time. Could you tell us a bit about that time?
Look, I really have to start by saying everything that I will say can't be attributed to me. It's my brilliant team that have done some of this amazing work. One of the example is capacity model that our data analytics team has created. RMIT is an old university. We own 6% of CBD buildings. And with sort of more than 90 buildings, it's really hard to understand what the capacity for every different activity is. At a lecture, is at some sort of practical thing that a student needs to do. What is it and what's available to us? And so just before COVID, we had an idea, or our executive had an idea, that we're running out of capacity and we actually need to purchase another building. That's like hundreds of millions of dollars. And when we created the model, capacity model, we basically have proven that we don't need that. We haven't reached the capacity.
Wow.
Moreover, when COVID hit, and we needed to apply social distancing rules, we could do it with the what-if analysis for this predictive model. And we actually informed the decision to sell another building, and that helped university significant during the hard times. So I'm very proud of the work that my team has done. It's been really innovative, and it really helped university to succeed. I think probably the other one is this work started even before I joined university. But again, I'm so proud of skills within learning analytics and all of the people that were involved in it, we created an early warning signs system or model, analytics model, predictive model, to identify students at risk that might be struggling a little bit and might need additional help. And so when you identify the students early and take action, you actually save people's careers, save people's aspirations. It's such a satisfying, amazing project, but you're also saving revenue for university as well. So it has financial implications, but it has even bigger, human implications as well. So yeah, I mean, this time during COVID really have proven that data analytics is the key to university success. We worked really, really hard. The demand for data and analytics was growing exponentially. People wanted to know, like, how do we identify students that needed to be contacted in case of emergency? Mm-hmm. How do we now build, contact tracing model that will allow us to identify contacts in case someone is infected? So there were so many different projects that we've done during COVID. And it's really not. I cannot say that it's my achievement, but it's definitely an achievement of my amazing team.
Incredible. So impressive. And that is a fantastic note to end on. Can't believe the hour has flown by. I know that there was a couple of questions in the Q&A. I've answered those. So hopefully that helps on your journey. Nonna, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to walk us through your incredible experience and your perspectives. It's been eye-opening, mind-blowing, and extremely, extremely helpful. And we had a comment there from David that says, this has been a great talk. Thanks a lot, Felipe and Nonna. And Pulkit says, thank you for the beautiful and very informative talk. So
Thank
everyone,
you very much. Thanks for everyone who listened, and thanks, Felipe, for organizing. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nonna. Thanks so much, everyone who joined. Come back next Friday, same time, 8:30 in the morning. We have Nitish Matthew, who is the Global Head of Data Engineering from Afterpay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. See you next time. Thank you. Have a great day. And thanks again, Nonna. That was brilliant. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope that you got a lot out of this discussion. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the channel so more people can find out about the challenges that leaders have in the analytics and AI space. And that's what we're trying to share in Data Futurology. So please like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please tell your friends. Thank you so much.